All right, let's open it up, shall we?
Oh boy.
Clemson at Syracuse. There's a lot, Ryan. And I probably need to discuss here. I watched the majority of it. I was at a bar, but I still sat there and watched the whole thing. Shout out to me for being a fan. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Disappointing. You mean
Disappointing.
Disappointing.
They
Yeah,
won the football game.
they won, but you had 2 weeks to fix things, and you didn't. You didn't fix. I mean, I think DJ
Can't
fixed
fix
himself.
bad players in 2 weeks. They got bad football players on their team that don't know how to do nothing.
I don't know if they're bad. I think they're
Or bad coaching, whatever you want to. You can't fix it in 2 weeks, though.
DJ looked decent actually. I mean, he threw for 61% completion rate, and I think there were like 4 clear drops from receivers, especially.
I think it was much more than that. There were several that were just terrible. Go ahead.
But yeah, wide receivers can't catch. The O-line
can't block
to save their lives. There was literally one play.
You would think that
Syracuse and one guy came through all 3 of them.
You would think that Syracuse has the best defensive line in the country, and then you remember they're Syracuse.
Yeah, they're Syracuse.
They stink.
I stink. And then the play calling was just very conservative, very mellow. And in all fairness, I think it's conservative because the offensive line is just horrible. It's just awful. You can't. I mean, like you just can't block long enough for a play to develop for a long pass. They can't block for the run game, even though we had a decent little run game. Not great, it was decent. Everything you can do is just short pass, and they're just running up the middle. I think they should be running outside, but they're running up the middle. Clemson did win 17-14. Syracuse missed a field goal in the last minute of the game to not send it to overtime. So Clemson got a little lucky there. DJ had over 200 total yards in general, 1 touchdown. Running backs played well, but just so many dumb mistakes. Like, I mean, Trent, you probably saw this too. They would be on a drive, and they would get some momentum. They'd be driving down to get a couple first downs, and then something stupid. Bad snap, bad penalty, just stupid.
Clemson is not the kind of offense that can afford bad, stupid stuff.
Not right now, no.
They're not good enough. I'm come down. I texted Ryan this when the game was going on. I feel like DJ, he does overthrow some guys. It's true. He had some bad passes. True. He made there was better decision making. He ran the ball more effectively. And, he's getting better. I see 3 problems with this football team. Ryan, you agree with me I think on all of them. I think the wide receivers drop too many passes. I think the offensive line is god awful. You can blame that on whoever you want to blame it. I think blame goes around to everybody. I'm not going to say the coaches get some of the blame. The coaches get all the blame and the players get all the blame. I think it's balanced. I think the players aren't playing to their full potential, and I don't think the coaches are coaching them to their full potential. And then, as you said on Twitter, I saw this and I agreed with it 100%. You said something about a former player was calling the play calling conservative. Yeah. And you said that when a former player is saying this, not good. I agree with that. Wait, what?
From 1 year ago.
Well, I hear that. That makes me think that they're not coaching offensively, I think, the way they should. So that makes me lead to 2 options. So 2 thoughts of line, 2 thoughts of thinking there. 1, Clemson's not playing to their full potential. I mean, not coaching. They're not coaching well. Or B, they're scared of what DJ can and can't do. And at this point, you're so terrible. If you're so scared, you might as well just let it happen and see what happens and just hope for the best. Because at this point, what's 1 interception? I mean, what's 1 more interception a game? You can't score more than 20 points. Have they scored more than 20 points all
year? On the FCS game.
So at this point, if your defense, first of all, Clemson's defense is very good. Very good. They've lost some of their best players and still are managing to be very good. So good for them. But at the end of the day, just like you saw at NC State, someone's going to score more points. Your defense can only do so much. And, Ryan made the point, we kind of were hoping that Clemson was going to get it together in these 2 weeks and they were going to do what they had to do. And The problem with Clemson right now is the problems that they have, you can't fix in 2 weeks. I don't know if you can fix it in 8 weeks or 9 weeks of how it's but how much we're going on week 8 now,
Yeah.
and they haven't fixed it yet. So what makes me think they're going to wake up tomorrow and just this is an off-season project. This season is a wash. They will not, I repeat, they will not, no matter what happens, make the ACC championship. And you can mark this down. Let me get the pencil. They're going to lose this next coming weekend on the road to Pitt. Vegas has Clemson favored right now. That is insanity. You know, when this season started, Pitt beat Tennessee, and we were like, oh my God, what is going on? Because Pitt, usually bad. Tennessee, we all expect to be bad. Lord knows we were all way off on that. Pitt's a good football team. Tennessee is considering everything that's happened to them, a good football team.
Yeah.
Considering how many transferred, how many gave up, how many quit on that football team, the fact that they're doing what they're doing now with who they've gotten, impressive to say the least. So my final thoughts on Clemson, not good. DJ getting better. Running backs. Forgot to mention them. I like Kobe Pace a lot. A lot,
Love
a
Kobe
lot, a
Pace.
lot, a lot. And I also liked what did you Joe?
Yeah, JoJo needs to
Starting.
start
I
wide
like
receiver.
that. Justin Ross has lost a step. Nagata drops too many passes, and that's where I stand on most of Clemson. I
Yeah.
think I said my piece on them.
Yep, I agree. O-line needs to get better. Receivers need to catch the ball. If they can get those two things, which I think the wide receivers can improve, I think that can change. The O-line, I think this is how it is this year. If they could fix those two things, they would easily win out. Easily. You could literally just run the ball and do screens if those two things were fixed, and you'd win every game. But they're just not up to par. And I think you're right. Pitt looks good.
I just don't feel confident. I mean, I get the defense is good, and Pitt won't face a better defense this year, probably. But then again, I just don't feel confident in Clemson's ability to score more than 20 points. And you're going to have to score more than 20 points to beat Pitt. And you haven't done that all year.
Yeah.
You haven't done it at all.
It's
And
gonna
you have
happen.
to do it to beat Pitt. Pitt's going to make you do that. Because it's no matter how good your defense is, it's on the road at Pittsburgh. I don't know what time the game is.
3:30.
So it's going to be a raucous crowd. You got to do better.
I don't know if it'd be a raucous crowd. Pitt doesn't sell out. But yeah. I mean, if you can't fix the O line, there's going to be several losses coming up. More than just, if you can't fix the O line for Pitt, you lose Pitt.
Right.
You can't. Florida State, Wake Forest, even South Carolina, you got to get that line fixed.